stressed. I've never been on this side of the church. So just excuse me if I shake a bit. Yeah, I would probably say I'll start from the right at the beginning, where I did walk my walk with Jesus, and I did it not too bad, I would say to myself. To the best of my abilities, I walked that path with Jesus. And yeah, I'm forgetting my words here. Just did we get all my readings done? Well, I've walked that walk and just to test my own faith and how close I am to God. I went on an encounter weekend where I wanted to discover my gifts and speak in tongues. That's the main thing I wanted to do. And well, I went on an encounter weekend, and the whole weekend went well, but no gifts were discovered and no speaking in tongues. Well, I kept on praying for that specific thing, and yeah, the weekend was finished. The weekend ended, and it went very well, I would say, but no gifts and no speaking in tongues. So I was really upset about that, and because that was my main test, that I can test with myself and test how close I am to God. And feeling very upset about it, I spoke to Craig, my life group leader at that time, and I told him, I'm feeling about stuff, a little bit of, don't feel so lucky about this because nothing happened. A couple of tires were broken and all of that, but I didn't speak in tongues, so there's something wrong. And he's like, no, don't stress about it. Don't stress about it, it will happen in time. You just have a sip of water here. This isn't easy. And so he said, don't stress about it, the Lord will let it come over your heart in the right time. But after this encounter weekend, this is where the real battle starts, because the devil wants back all the ground that he's had, and you've taken it all away now. So he wants that battle back, he wants that ground back. And I must keep on reading my Bible and keep on fighting that battle. Well, I said, it's like a shoot. I went home and I fell in a deep depression that I couldn't cope with. And just by listening to the devil's lies, actually, he caught me. And I fell back into my old ways. But worse, 7 times worse. Because the house was cleaned and he brought back 7 worse than what I had. And that happened. It went on for about 1.5 years from the encounter weekend. And somebody actually very close to my heart, my grandmother, spoke to me one day, and she asked me, sorry. She asked me, child, why have you turned away from God? And I told her, well, I've backslided and these things happen. It happens to a lot of people. And well, if he wants me back, he's going to have to shake me. And he'll pull my card when he wants me to work for him. But now, I'll live my life like I want to live it. Because, I've had that, whatever feeling. And needless to say, he actually took up the challenge that I gave you. And that was the Sunday. He actually took up that challenge that I spoke to my grandmother with a week later. So that was the Sunday, and the Tuesday, me and my wife, we took up diving, scuba diving, and everything went well on that. I had during the week, on the Saturday we had a pool session, I had 2 dives and all of that, and my dive master actually told me, don't go and drink, don't go big, because you've got diving tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, it's fine, don't stress about it. And we went out that night. Just to a guy with a couple of friends of mine. And my wife looked at me and she says, well, you heard that dive master, don't go big now. And I can recall actually telling her, you know what, everybody tells you not to drink and dive. I want to actually test that theory. So I went super big. And that is stupid things that you actually say now. Yeah, I want to test that theory, I told her. And I went so big that I actually had only like 2 or 3 hours sleep prior to the diving, the Sunday night. And well, to make the long story short, I went to the diving. We dived the first dive. There's about 2 dives that you've got each day. I had the first dive and everything went well. Went down the second time, and that's what changed my life forever. We went down and I passed out under the water after a couple of minutes inside. Well, nobody can actually explain what happened, but yeah, I passed out in the water with no reason at all. And I spit my regulator out of my mouth, the thing that you breathe with, and I slipped water. And I actually drowned, got a seizure under the water. And well, the dive master standing in front of me, or swimming in front of me, came up to me, looked at me, and he saw there was something wrong. Took my regulator, put it back in my mouth, but he couldn't, because I was biting on all my teeth with the seizure that I had. And when he saw that, he immediately took me out of the water, well, to the surface. And as I got to the surface, my whole face was already blue, my eyes was rolled back into my head, and I was pulling in like that. And I actually died in that pool by the time I got to the surface. The oaks outside got such a big fright because they didn't know what was happening. They picked me out of the pool, put me next to the water, next to the pool, and they started to CPR me, to do CPR on me, to revive me. And I was actually gone for about 3 minutes till they got me back. But it doesn't sound that long, but if you actually look at the time and you count those seconds, it's very long. They got me back eventually. And well, the first thing that I can remember is when I opened my eyes, I saw the paramedic in front of me. I saw that paramedic sitting in front of me. But they're so busy with me, and well, you know, if you fall asleep, you don't feel like you're falling asleep. You only wake up the next morning. But now I didn't know anything that was happening. I looked at this and I thought to myself, who's this guy trying to jab me with a needle because he wants to put a grip in my arm? And I couldn't remember how I got into my wetsuit. Anyways, that was about 25 minutes after they revived me when I saw the paramedic. And yeah, I got into the ambulance, they took me to the hospital, and when I got there, they did x-rays and all of that stuff. They found that my lungs was still full of water. And before I got to the hospital, I actually threw up water 3 times. So they apparently said while they were doing the CPR on me, it sounded like when the guys stood around me, they said, if you take a hose pipe and you put it in water and you blow on it, that sound it makes. That's what my lungs made, my chest, when they did CPR on me. Anyways, and well, I was at the hospital, and did x-rays, found that